This video is in addition to the Family and Faith video from 2016. It's a result of Diane and Brittany heading to Randazzo and finding a treasure trove of information, one of which was Giuseppe Lemo's birth record. And what we found from that is our great-grandfather actually lived in Tripi. So the mission of this trip was for the next generation, our kids, to see and feel the experience of their grandmother as she sees where her parents, her grandparents, and great-grandparents lived and raised their families. The video starts with us on a windy mountain road making our way to Tripi.
So, oh, David, look at him. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't believe this.
Yeah, we'd like to get through, Mr. Cow.
I hope they don't.
Look at this one.
Idiot.
Look at him. Oh my gosh, roll your window up. Is your window up?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to go around you. Just be good.
Oh, my God.
And you're going to stay right there, okay? We'll go around you. Look at this guy.
There's one over here. Wait,
Yep.
there's one there.
Okay.
One there.
Cow slalom down Mount Etna. After a long and slow car ride, we finally came around a clearing and saw Tripi. At the very top is the church. And so now the goal was to find our way through the medieval streets to get to the church. We're trying to get a U-turn. Our flight arrived in Catania mid-afternoon, and so we didn't arrive into Tripi until 6 p.m. Unfortunately, the church was closed. Doing great. Oh dear.
What makes you think cars are even supposed to go here?
Because I see the tire prints.
You do, for real?
Yep. There's the church. A cat.
Do you really see tires?
Ma, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, there's even another car here.
Oh, we got to pay attention to how he goes out. There we go. Because it knows you're here. So Vincenzo and Rosario were your great-grandparents, and their son, Giuseppe, they grew up in this town.
What's it say?
And Giuseppe was Rosario's dad. So I'm going along the side of the church, and I notice this gate and this wall and these big rocks. And it's really cool abandoned house. And then I look over the wall, and it's just a sheer drop. Imagine the early masons working on the side of the cliff building this foundation. All the way down to that river.
Just think how old is this?
Well, your dad was born in the...
And that's the North
1880s?
Shore of Sicily, North Shore of Sicily. As we headed down the mountain towards the coast, we saw the Rosario's Church of St. Mary and a cemetery.
So we drove by and we found a cemetery, and I announced that there was a lemo, but the cemetery was closed, and for some reason, Dave thought it was okay to bring his mother up here. I'm going to take you on a little adventure and try not to fall in the berry bush.
What do you think, Mom?
Say a prayer.
No, before that, you said, I'm glad.
I saw that.
Are you glad you came?
What?
Are you glad your knucklehead son brought you all the way over here?
Dragged you up through the thorn bushes?
I'm really crazy.
Poor
No,
thing.
you guys are crazy to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought we were going to be able to get in.
I
That's a
appreciate
bummer.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the night. It's a beautiful night, and we call it Bella Notte. Look at the skies, they have stars in their eyes on this lovely.
Following Monday, we picked up the kids at the Catania airport, and our plan was to go to Giare, where the Anastasis live, and spend the day, and then hop the 1930s era train to go up the side of the volcano to Randazzo train station. However, the Anastasis were sick that day, and so we just took the van up the mountain and made a couple stops along the way. We were all hungry, and thankfully Terry had been practicing some Italian and was able to get us some restaurant directions. However, a couple miles down the road, we were pulled over by somebody tracking us, and apparently we had missed the turn, and so we had to turn around and go back to the restaurant. But it was a beautiful old vineyard with some original equipment from when they used to crush grapes, and we all had a great time there.
It's a beautiful night, and we call it
Who else is sharing steak?
They'll get their own plates.
So on the south side of the volcano, there's this Fonavia, which is basically a gondola ride to the rim of the volcano. They also have lots of souvenir shops and a restaurant and a relief map showing the volcano with Randazzo right at the edge of the volcano flow. After a treacherous trip from the south side of the volcano around to the west and then finally the north side where Randazzo is, and almost burning up the brakes on the van, we made it to our bed and breakfast, which is owned by Matteo. We've been there a couple of times. Just like every other bed and breakfast in these areas, you have a few flights of stairs to go up to get to your room, unfortunately for Mom. After some buffoonery and where we were going to eat that night, Kelsey and Jackson picked up a loaf of bread and some wine. We just drank it on the street. Eventually, we found Las Vegas in Randazzo, which turned out to be very good. Once again, Terry got to try out her Italian, and she ordered a charcuterie plate for 8 people, and we all ordered dinners, and what came was 8 charcuterie plates for everybody plus their full dinners. Terry and I's first meal ever in Italy was at La Bafora, and so we had to go back with the kids, and it was as fabulous as ever. There's something enchanting about the first things you eat in Italy that you'll never forget. If you ever want to feel the wrath of a 100-pound, 4-foot-tall Sicilian grandmother, try parking a 9-passenger van in front of her kitchen window. That said, we met at the municipal building at 9 a.m. the next day to find addresses of our ancestors with the help of Anastasia, who was our tour guide for the day that was able to translate some of the information. With that in hand, we were able to map out a plan that would take us to the church and the houses. So Ma, this is your uncle Stefano Anastasi's house, and his grandson is the Stefano you met.
'14th century.
I went to and I couldn't find it. I didn't try that hard.
Beautiful. This is just like feudal times, kings and knights and. Oh my goodness.
Any one of you is frightened by bats?
No.
Archi medievali, yeah.
So this is a castle from 1509. Yeah.
Barton's family, and the windows are original, and there are the beautiful colors. They're so tiny, so
Yes. Yeah. So Ma, come over here. Come over here. This is the house or the location where your dad grew up as a boy. When he married your mother, he lived there. So he lived here. He got baptized there. Then he lived there. They don't go far. Yeah. That's 30 and this is 25. So there you go. Oh, this is the Lemos. I want to get it on video. Go ahead. What's the story?
My father lived here. Didn't have much money.
Yes.
He wanted to marry my mother. They said you have to go and earn 2,000. I don't know. Whatever. Came to America, earned the money, and came back and said I don't marry him. Because my mother's parents were Masons.
World War II, the Nazi soldiers were coming through here. The road was originally.
the original church is on the back, and
Is on the back. This has been all replaced.
the church.
The original church was built in the what century? 13th?
That was of the 13th century.
Okay.
And this part is of 18th century.
18th century.
Yeah, 1783.
Destroyed by earthquake or war? Probably earthquake. Yeah. They're welcoming you with the bells. Huh?
She didn't think it was open.
Yeah, it's open.
Does this look the way it did for you, Game?
This looks better.
Light candles.
Is he busy? Yeah, okay. It's all right, baby. Mom wants to say a prayer. So there's the altar where they were married. She wants to light a candle. Come on.
He had a big candle.
That's why we... Let's keep them together. So give me the 3 candles are for
Mom, Pop.
and all of us.
I was hoping he would have blessed us.
This is made of seeds. It's like a mosaic. Corn and beans. It's like red corn, yellow corn, lentils, pinto beans. Jesus' body was paraded down the street on Easter Day. Similarly, the Madonna is paraded in a similar glass coffin on August 25th, Assumption of Mary.
August 15th, we would.
August
in
15th?
Vermont,
Yeah.
they did
They
that.
continued the tradition in Vermont.
They used to take the Blessed Mother
Yeah.
through all the streets.
Yes.
And we were, little kids wear white.
Yeah.
And I was hoping the priest would have blessed us, but didn't.
We can ask him to.
Huh?
We can ask him to. He's looking up your marriage record.
He is?
Yeah, he's looking up the marriage record to see if he can find it.
The priest?
Yeah.
He's not here.
Here is Giuseppe.
David, do you have a picture of this?
Not yet. I'm waiting.
Oh,
Yes.
Allora forse questo è il padre che ha preso la figlia? Può essere? No, perché questo dice il nome del padre, questo è il nome invece della figlia, che sarebbe sua mamma, e questo invece è suo nonno.
So my dad thinks
No, avete scritto Rango, Giuseppe, Collo, Anastasia.
Allora hanno sbagliato a scrivere il nome forse.
No, ha sbagliato il prete.
Sarà che si sarà confuso, invece di scrivere il nome del figlio ha scritto il nome del padre. Perché lui mi diceva che hanno sbagliato a scrivere.
What does that mean? What did you say?
You were thinking, why here is written Giuseppe
Yeah.
instead of Rosario?
Yeah.
Because Giuseppe is the father and Rosario is the son.
I don't think any of them could read or write to know it was wrong.
I think.
I think it was a mistake, and nobody
Yes, it's a
could read or
mistake.
write to know it was.
Yes, because they are the two that have been married, so
Yes.
it was surely a mistake. Yes.
Can you read this in English for us? Can you
Take a picture of this and I translate.
The church record is in Latin, and one large error is it says Giuseppe Lembo instead of Rosario Lemo. Is married to Giuseppe Anastasi. In the year of our Lord 1912, on the 28th day of September, in the church of San Nicole in the city of Randazzo, at 8:15 a.m. on September 22nd, without any interference or impediments, by letter of the Bishop Janisses, the Reverend, whose name we can't read, as his deputy, asked Joseph Rosario Lemo, son of Joseph and Giuseppe, and Josephine Anastasi, daughter of Giuseppe and Francesca, and by their mutual consent, solemnly by the words of the present matrimony, in the presence of the known witnesses, Francesca Anastasi is one of them, we can't read the other, Afterward, in the celebration of the Mass, he blessed them according to the rite of the Church.
This is the baptismal fountain from 1306, where Giuseppe Rosario and Giuseppa Lemo were baptized. Go ahead.
That looks original.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yes, it works.
There we go.
With the blessing of Mary's, with Mary's blessing in this day.
Ave Maria, piena di grazia,
Il Signore è con te. Tu sei
le donne, benedetto frutto del tuo seno Gesù. Santa Maria, Madre di Dio, prega per noi peccatori, adesso è l'ora della nostra morte. Amen. Sum presidio confugimus, Santa Dei Genetrix, nostra defecationes, de vestigias necessitatis nostris, sera peritus cumplis, liberanos sempre, vidu gloria nostra benedicta. Dominus vobiscum, et cum spiritu tuo. Oremus, omnipotens semper Deus, gloriosi virgis Matis Mariae corpus et anima, Dignum Filii Tui habitacum effici benedetto, Spiritu Santo cooperante preparasti, da ut cuius commemorazione dell'età, eius via intercessione avistantibus maris, et a morte perpetua liberemur per unde Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen. Benedictio Dei Omnipotentis, Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti, descendat super vos, et maniat semper. Amen.
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 Auguri.
Come Santa Maria. Yes, le macerie della guerra.
Sì, delle
Because in the Second World War, this church has been destroyed, and all of these pictures and all of the things you can see here were under the ruins of the church, so they had to put them away from these ruins, and you can find they are a bit ruined. Wow. It's,
Oh yeah, look at the
il
rip.
quartiere greco è stato il più colpito.
This is the Greek quarter, and this quarter has been the most. It has the more damage.
There.
Of all other, yes, than all other quarters.
How old is the art?
How?
How old is the art originally?
A quando risalgono le opere d'arte?
Allora, ce ne sono anche del 1605, poi a seconda. Cioè...
1605 and
Renaissance,
something
yeah.
new, yes.
Okay. Let's.
So the bomb fell here, but this statue didn't go broken. Hasn't been broken
Yeah.
by the bomb. So this is a miracle because the bomb was here. Everything has been destroyed,
Yeah.
but the statue were safe.
In più questa statua ha perso sangue dall'apostolo.
And there is another miracle about this.
This church was bombed.
Yes, this church was bombed, and a big part of this church have been destroyed and then made up in the centuries. And this statue, there is another miracle about this statue because the 18th century, through the abdomen of Saint Nicholas.
Is this Saint Nicholas? No.
Saint Nicholas,
Yes.
yes. This is Santa Claus. Saint Nicholas Bishop.
Perso sangue dalla
So this statue bleeded.
Oh my.
Yes, bleeded.
E da allora la peste cessò.
Its abdomen, and there was a pandemic situation of la peste, come si diceva? La peste bubonica.
Bubonic plague.
Yes, bubonic plague, and ended.
When he bled.
This miracle happened, this plague ended. It has been made by Antonello da Messina. It was one of the main artists of old territory and in Italy.
Santa Lucia, ma dopo si è capito che era Santa Caterina? Perché
So they are Mary with her child, Sant'Agata. Firstly, we thought it was Santa Lucia, but then we understood that she is Santa Caterina.
Okay.
That is something.
This is the river that the Moors chased the Greeks up, and the Greeks settled up on this cliff, which is one of the first settlements of Randazzo. You see that super cool bridge.
It has been remade in 1737. Piracmone, instead, was the name of a giant who in the mythology lived in these territories. A Sicilian hero of the 5th century before Christ.
Oh.
Who fought against the Greeks, conquered Sicily. Peoples of this town named him Randazzo Vecchio. It's the old Randazzo.
Yep.
Because of this statue, maybe could represent 3 populations here, which has founded this town. So 3 cities, maybe 3 of the 5 cities.
Sure.
It could be, which founded the town. And there are 3 symbols of
the snake is knowledge and careful.
And careful, yes.
And the lion.
I don't remember the name for Prudenza.
The lion is.
The lion is strength and royalty. And the eagle is freedom and generosity.
Okay.
Are part of the church.
Ah, part of the church.
Yes, there, over there. The lion and a little part of the statue, the original statue. So they will be forever in the church. We were children.
No dolls.
Did you have any dolls or toys growing up?
We had dolls, and I made everything myself for my dolls. My mother called me in dialetto campamunizza, that is, I collected everything, and made my own toys. Something. Yeah.
Pinocchio brought here. Pinocchio.
No, I don't like Pinocchio. Who's a liar?
Yes.
I don't like liars. Where the snacks are put it in, I made a bed when it was empty, and made all the bed sheets and with everything I found. And then I turned it up down, and it was a table for my dolls.
Yeah, creative.
Yeah.
Kids are so spoiled today.
Well, we just go on Amazon and buy a table, buy a bed, buy a wedding dress.
Yes, but it's
builds character.
Something more.
Yes.
There's something more. You have everything ready, and it's not yours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. But where are they buried? Under?
You're standing on them.
There's several, they're stacked up.
Yeah.
It's like an elevator.
Yeah, like the middle is open, and then there's a wall over there, and a wall over here, and a wall over here, and a wall over here, and they're stacked. The tombs are stacked on top of each other.
Wow.
Some
This guy looks kind of like Joe.
Giuseppe Rufino.
he does.
Stefano pointed to a picture and said, "This is Francesca Rossidi. She's my great-grandmother."
Oh my God.
Right.
And I go,
Really?
wait a minute. That's Dave's great-grandmother. Was it great
Yeah.
or great-great?
Great grandma.
And that's when we determined
Yeah.
that they were second cousins. They both share the same great-grandma.
You didn't see the dog? No. Oh my god. No. Adorable. He looks like he lives outside. Oh. He feels so bad. He wants to say hi too.
Up with Lucia, who is our good friend we met in 2016, and she was very generous in giving us various gifts from her store. And then she gave us a tour of her house, and we really loved the attic as well as the view from her roof.
We're in Lucia's attic.
And what'd you find?
We found a poor little pigeon that was not happy.
And we're gonna bring this home for Bob, Uncle Bob.
No, we're gonna set him free. He's free.